1. So let's do one last just plain factor problem. Is there anything we can take out of all of them? No. So we start with 4 terms, means that we're going to factor by grouping these two and these two together. Just focus here. I can take 7 x's out of each. That would give me 13 x's plus 7x, which means I got to have that 1. Take that x to the 7th power out, and I'm left with x to the 6th plus a 1. Bring your plus down. Ooh, I can take a 2 out. 2 times x to the 6th plus 2 times 1. Take that 2 out, and I'm left with x to the 6th plus 1, which is what I was hoping to get. Kind of a mess there, sorry. So let's take out that x to the 6th plus 1, cross them out, and you're left with x to the 7 plus 2. There's no differences, so I have completely factored that problem. Now in this chapter we also did factoring to solve the problem. So we're going to go ahead and do factoring here and then solving it for 0. So I have nothing I can take out of all 3, but there are 3 terms. So yet again, it's the box. X squared goes here, negative 18 here. So it needs to multiply together and give me a negative 18, but when I add it, I get a positive 7. How about negative 2 and positive 9? And this is x squared, so I know it's an x times an x. These two are the same, so those are x's. These two are the same, and those is negative 2. And here I get 9x, here I get negative 2x. Add them together, I get a positive 7. So x and a positive 9, x and a negative 2 equals 0. Split them up. Excuse me, x minus 2 equals 0. Subtract your 9 from both sides. X equals negative 9, so our roots are negative 9, and add the 2 to both sides. Y equals 2, or excuse me, x equals 2, and we get the roots of negative 9 and 2. Doing our check, we're going to take x squared, which is negative 9 squared, plus 7 times negative 9 minus 18 equals 0. Well, this is a positive 81. A negative 7 times 9 is 63, and negative 18. If I add these two together because they're both negative, I get 81. And 81 minus 81 works. Let's try the other check, which is 2. 2 squared plus 7 times 2 minus 18 equals 0. 4 plus 14 minus 18, well, I get 18 minus 18, which is 0. Back in 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we're going to do 2 more problems, and then we're all done with this review. Remember that you have to have the 0 over here to do the actual solving. So the first thing we need to do is move it over. So on this side, we get 2y squared plus 12y plus 10 equals 0. Now I start with my factoring, and I say, okay, I can take a 2 out of everything. So 2 times y squared, 2 times 6y, and 2 times 5 equals 0. Take that 2 out, and you're left with y squared plus 6y plus 5 equals 0. Now, we already know now, so 2 times something equals 0. We're going to take that 2 and kind of ignore it. We're going to make a box. All right, y squared goes here and 5 goes here. It's all positive. And I'm pretty positive 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 plus 1 equals 6. So I think I'm right on with this. I'm getting there. Y. These two are the same. Boom. These two are the same. And in this one I get y, 5y. When I add them, I get my 6y. So y plus 1 y plus 5. Now at this point we're going to split them up and make one of them 0. Can we make 2 equal to 0? Of course not. So we're not going to use the 2. We're going to do y plus 1 equals 0 and y plus 5 equals 0. Subtract the 1. Y equals negative 1. So my roots are negative 1. Y is negative 5. All right, when we do our check, we're going to go all the way back up to this original problem. 2 times negative 1 squared plus 12 times negative 1 equals negative 10. So I get negative 1 squared is a positive 1, so 2 minus 12 equals negative 10, and it definitely does. 2 times negative 5 squared plus 12 times negative 5 equals negative 10. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25, times 2 is 50. Negative times a positive negative. 5 times 12 is 60, and that does equal negative 10. So for our last problem, first we want to get the 0 over here, so we're going to subtract that 81 from both sides. And we get 64m squared minus 81 equals 0. Is there anything I can take out of both numbers? I don't see anything. So hopefully, if you see it's a difference of 2 squares and you can solve it that way, that's wonderful. I don't expect everybody to see it that way. So we're going to go ahead and do our boxes. 64m squared and negative 81. So here, I'm going to try 9 and negative 9. Then I know the m and the m. I'm going to try 8 and 8, pardon me, not negative 8. So here I get negative 9. Here I get 8m. 8m goes here. And 9. So in this box, I get negative 72m. And here I get 72m, so they make the 0. And so I'm on the right track. 8m minus 9. 8m plus 9 equals 0. 1 has to be 0. So we're looking at either one. Add the 9 to both sides. 8m equals 9. Divide by 8. M equals 9 over 8. So one of my two roots is 9 over 8. The other one, subtract the 9, I get 8m minus 9. So divide, and I get m is negative 9 over 8. Now I know again you're going to kind of freak out a little bit, but I don't think you're going to have that big of trouble, because watch what happens when you do your check. 64 times m squared, 9 over 8 squared, minus 81 equals 0. We square first. We do exponents first. 9 times 9 is 81. 8 times 8 is 64. And look what happens here with the fractions. Remember, there's a 1. 64 divided by 64 is 1. 81 minus 81 equals 0. We're going to see the same thing with the other fraction. Negative 9 over 8 squared minus 81 equals 0. Negative 9 times negative 9 is a positive 81. 8 times 8 is a positive 64. Again, 64s take care of each other, and we get the final answer.